Was the cruise ship haunted?
It is very haunted.
Well, was it haunted when they were on it? Did they do something wrong to make a bad spirit haunt it?
Hi, I'm Em!
And I'm Liv, and we're your meta PsycKicks.
We're in different outfits now.
No.
Hi, I'm Em!
And I'm Liv, and we're your meta PsycKicks. Today, we're gonna be starting another spoopy story about the Queen Mary cruise ship, and Em is gonna tell you all about it. What do you think, Em?
What do you think, Liv? Are you gonna be jittery in this one?
Oh, I'm gonna do it ginger coffee. PSA! We're not in different outfits, and we don't look different. You're in different outfits, and you look different.
Also, look!
Merch! Hit him with the boobies. Shh, inappropriate for YouTube. What? Boobies is not inappropriate. We could be talking about blue-footed boobies.
You're a towel.
And you're a towel.
You're a towel.
No, you're a towel.
So, today we're going to be talking about famous haunted locations, and because we are psychic mediums, we're going to tell the spoopy stories of the locations and tell you what we actually see and what actually happened from the souls themselves. So, I did the Queen Mary. It's one of the most haunted locations in the world, and the most popular room that I think were able to stay at was B340. And
wait, is it a cruise ship?
yes, it's 100% a boat.
And people can stay in it, so it's a floating hotel.
It is out of commission, so it is basically docked forever.
Is the Queen Mary the thing that didn't sink, but the Titanic did?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the Queen Mary is bigger than the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So the Queen Mary was built to essentially transport the rich and famous across the Atlantic Ocean. But when the World War II started breaking out, they transitioned the boat to be a troop ship and to move the troops from across the Atlantic Ocean. They actually modified the boat and painted it gray, like a navy gray, to kind of camouflage the boat, and it was nicknamed the Gray Ghost. But when they did that, when the boat was a troop ship, it carried like 10,000 people, more than that. I think the most they had was a little bit over 15,000 people on the boat at once. So they were like stuck against each other, full of men. And then after the World War, it then got re-modified back into like a rich and famous cruise ship boat.
Was there a little boy on this boat who was like related to somebody? I feel like he was related to somebody that was like more higher up, but he was on the boat for whatever reason. I don't know. It would be unlikely that his dad would keep him on the boat unless his mom was dead. Because I feel like that's something that he's saying. I feel like there's a little boy and he's like, I know all these things because all I did was run around every day and like peep on everybody.
There's a lot of children that were on the boat as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one little boy that's like, he's like, I know all the secrets. Let me tell you. He's really cute. He's like maybe 8 or 10, probably like 10 because he's a little bit older. Because I feel like his dad would tell him to do things and he'd have like little jobs and they would be like his missions.
Got you.
That's cute.
But yeah, this boat was primarily used to transport the rich and famous, so they had their families come and just, you know, be on a cruise ship for a few days. So they had their children with them.
Mm.
But then they had masses of troops being shoved into this boat because it was the fastest, biggest boat to move the troops. And then afterwards it was then re-modified to be what it once was. But because of that, there's so much energy on the boat, so it's super haunted. So once it was out of commission, it was, I don't know boat language. It was docked forever. And that's where it was like open to the public because it's a historic landmark thing. And people can stay in the most haunted room, which is B340. And in B340, they actually have like Ouija boards and like really scary things to do seances and stuff like that.
Of course, so they're just amplifying the energy of the room.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what was happening in B340, but whatever it is, they made it 150 times worse by putting like Ouija boards for the public to use that are terrified of doing seances in haunted locations.
Well, that's one way to ensure it stays haunted. Was there a fire on the boat?
In what way?
Like an upper deck fire? I feel like people that weren't just workers were influenced by it and they had to like jump off.
I feel
like there's the soul of one woman that was like, I was there and it was highly inconvenient. I don't know if she died because of the fire on the boat, but she's like, everyone was jumping off and it was so stupid because the water was cold.
Yeah, it probably would have killed people.
And no one could like get together on what they needed to do to get off the boat because everyone was just so uncoordinated. She just wants to talk about how she was very unimpressed with the people that coordinated like jumping ship and that it was highly inconvenient. She's
interesting.
I feel like her name is like Eloise or something. She's like 32. I feel like she probably had some kids too and a husband. She was like, I was drunk and I just don't fucking care. There was too many things going on. It was highly inconvenient. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, you want to get into the first story?
Yeah.
Or you got more to say?
They're making me hear the intercom system. If there was
Interesting.
like an intercom system.
I don't know.
It was like really shitty. Sorry.
Okay, so the most haunted room, like I said, was the stateroom B340. So here's one of the stories from this room. So this stateroom was a problem long before the Queen Mary opened as a hotel in 1948. A British third-class passenger, Walter J. Adamson, passed away in the room, and the details of his death were unknown. Later, in 1966, a woman staying in the room reported that she was woken up when the bed covers were pulled off of her, and she saw a man standing at the foot of her bed. She screamed and ran for the steward, but the man apparently vanished into the air. Years later, guests staying in the rooms have reported hearing someone knocking on the door in the middle of the night and seeing bathroom lights mysteriously turn on. Even the hotel's maids started complaining that they would find the bathroom water running, even when no one had stayed in the room for days. The one reported that the bed covers were pulled off right after she put them on. The room was closed to guests for many years, but it has since been reopened for anyone looking for an evening of creepy fun. So this is the room where they put all of the like seance things in, which again, when I was watching the video, there's a lot of dark things in this room, and it's not because the room is dark, it's because people put the dark things in the room.
Yeah.
Hi, we're back in the weird outfits.
And so are you, because I told you.
Because when we filmed this, Liv was very scared. But she's gonna do it again.
What do you mean when we filmed this? We're filming this right now. I said they're in different outfits and they look different. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Also, my hair was straight in that video.
You don't know that. So when we talked to the weird thing, it was mostly during the podcast that we got the grossest feeling.
You did.
We put
I knew it
crystals
was in
on the
there.
back of the house.
Oh,
or on the back of the couch.
That was for your story.
I know, it was creepy. I don't like it.
There's not that scary thing in the Queen Mary.
Yeah, but it's close. It's the same thing, but just not as scary.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it's scary because it does its bidding for itself, whereas the thing in the Queen Mary doesn't do its own bidding. It, like, makes little things to do its bidding.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's gross. So, in the Queen Mary, there's, like, this little black shadow that's behind the door. And it has to be the room, like, the way the room was before they remodeled it. Because every time I see it the same, and it doesn't look like the room looks now. But it's still in that space.
But how did you see it?
The door opens to the left, and it sits behind the door, and I feel like the carpet used to be, like, red carpet, maybe? They're showing me that there's, like, red velvet, like, crushed red velvet somewhere in the room, and the colors are more, like, white, green, and red, and, like, blues. Those are the colors of the ship. And I feel like at one point there was, like, the brass hanging light fixtures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not what the room looks like now. It's, like, Sam and Colby. Sorry.
Sam and Colby.
I have to think about cheese. Like Colby Jack cheese. Okay. Anyways, so the dark thing that's in the room is sent there by the weird dark thing. And I feel like the weird dark thing...
So the thing behind the door is the thing that looks kind of like Haunter, the Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixed with the... Salabi?
Oh, the Sableye.
Sableye.
Pokemon.
Salabi. Sorry. It looks like Sableye mixed with Haunter, and it sits behind the door and it like freaks people out. But they were talking about how the water was turning on and stuff in the bedroom. That is not the weird thing at all. That's just like random spirits that are there.
Screwing with people.
Yeah. I think it's residual and active, but more active when like people are there. I feel like it might happen when people aren't there, and that's the residual stuff, but it's really funny.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot to ghost hunters, where ghosts are like, oh my god, another person's here trying to talk to us. Let's really spook them out.
Yeah, oh for sure. I've had readings with people where their like past family members have come in and they're like, I'm a ghost. It's really funny.
That's gonna be me as a ghost.
Oh, for sure.
We could do a t-shirt that says get spooked.
Yeah, I'm about it.
Part of our spoopy poopy collection.
You're making it into a collection?
It's one of the things you can vote on Patreon, so join.
You really love me. I'm gonna wear the entire spoopy poopy collection just so you know at all times. And when people are like, what is that? I'll be like, I'm a spoopy poopy. And I will look them into their soul and say it.
But only you can vote on that collection to become real. Or we're gonna do it anyways, but
no,
you can vote.
We're gonna do it anyways. If you want to have a say in the spoopy poopy, let me know. But also,
you can have a say in what comes next.
I'm so excited.
Wow.
Okay, so the water turning on and off is not necessarily like the same dark thing in the room, but there is like some sort of actual dark entity that I feel like it's underneath the ship. Did I say that before too?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it literally looks almost kind of like a Kraken-y type thing, like an oil spill too. It shouldn't be oil spill, but it's underneath. And just because so many people are like scared of stuff, that's why it's there. It's like, I know that as a dark entity, people are gonna come on here and be scared anyways, because whether it's malicious scariness or not, people are gonna be spooked, and that's the energy I need. And what it does is it manifests this one thing in the room, because people have dubbed it the most scary room because of like, what, Harry or someone who died in there?
Yeah, I think that's just like also the room that you can rent out on the Queen Mary now. That is.
Oh, and they have the dumb Ouija board in it.
Yeah, it is literally set up for like
it to become more haunted at all times.
So it is literally constant like seance in that room. So that's why there's a dark thing there.
That's why
because there's like deaths or whatever.
Okay, so that's why it's strategically placed.
Yes, that's why it's like this place is fucking awesome. I have to do minimal effort. All I gotta do is like walk in front of some motion detectors and move some plaquettes. We're good.
Yeah. So. There you go. That's the spoopy thing. And I think it's funny because I think Sam and Colby were talking to an older woman.
This is like essentially what happened for 30 minutes, except it would actually answer us.
Yeah, I think it's not answering because it's mad now.
Yeah, oh no, we pissed it off.
When the door is closed, that's when it goes off the most. When we have it open, there's like a flow of energy and it's able to escape.
And then it's weird because dark things will like try to mask themselves to me to look different, and then while I was thinking about it, I like saw that it was the same dark thing.
Well, how did you see it?
It was showing me that it was an old woman, but it was like, this is an extension of myself to talk to them.
But it was showing you on your left side too.
Oh yeah, it was like an old.
It wasn't
they made it look like Mrs. Morley kind of. But like off a little and with curly hair, so like it looked like someone that was like her, but not, because you know she used to wear those high collared things and shit. Yeah, she was wearing like a high collared neck shirt dress thing, and it was gray and white.
Got you.
And then it was like, that's not actually, I was like, that doesn't feel like a person. It feels like, you know, like when some dark things give you that like they're sucking you into
like
yourself.
That void feeling.
Yeah, it was giving me a cold void feeling. And when I talk to people, I don't feel like a voidness to them.
No.
So you're welcome.
Okay, so another story is a spirit that they refer to as Grumpy, which I don't think it's a human.
That's me. Surprise.
Grumpy is arguably one of the Queen Mary's most memorable ghosts. This spirit, whose actual identity is not known, is especially memorable because he tends to growl at visitors. Grumpy is said to lurk in the room under the stairs near the first class swimming pool.
Was it scary that I saw him under stairs before you said anything?
And sometimes he joins other spirits in the boiler room. You can hear audio recordings of Grumpy growling.
That's funny. Yeah, he's like this big, and he's really fat and chunky.
What is he?
I feel like he's the dark version of that little green thing that we read for that girl spirit guide.
Interesting.
He
So
kind of gives me that. He's like this.
yeah.
Well, I think that's why okay. He's like, that's not what I look like, and my spirit guides are like, yeah, that's what you look like.
Oh, how rude.
They're like making him look less scary to me. He's showing me that he like slithers and like, what is it, like shifts? You know how things like break on and off and like when they're pixelized, kind of. But they're making me see him like a little tiny like Mike Wazowski, but without legs. He just has like feet, and he like grumbles around everywhere. But they're making him sound like a kitten. You know, like when a tiger gets turned into a kitten and they're like mid roar and then it's meow. That's what they're making it sound like.
So
That's funny.
He just growls? Why does he growl?
Well, I think he growls because that is like enough to scare normal people.
Yeah.
But the way my guides are showing me is that he's such a lower level little entity, but thinks he has like big dick vibes that they're like, no, that's why you're in the pool with the kids.
Last story.
Yeah.
This one is with the hatch door. So this is a very famous ghost.
The hatch door.
Yeah.
Does he have a cap?
Maybe.
Okay. I feel like he's 28 to 32.
Too old.
Too
He's
old.
18.
18? He looks fucking hard then. He worked a hard goddamn life.
There were 49 reported deaths on the Queen Mary during this time in service, one of which was that of John Peddar, otherwise known as the Half-Hatch Harry. So this hatch door is known as the Shaft Alley, and it was the site of a gruesome accident that saw a crewman crushed to death. One night on 1966, the watertight doors in the engine and boiler room were ordered to be closed. After 5 minutes later, an 18-year-old crew member from Yorkshire was found crushed in the door of hatch number 13. Trapped with his arms pinned to his side, while the man was freed and carried to the hospital ward, it was too late. He showed signs of crushing injury on his arms, chest, and pelvis, and was bleeding from his nose. He was injected with morphine, but died shortly after. His ghost is regularly seen around the area now, where people reporting the sounds of someone running behind them and whistling. Others have noticed the spots of grease that look like fingerprints appear on their faces. Some have even seen a figure of a bearded man in blue coveralls that looks just like the man who died out of the corner of their eye. And several others have said they saw an engineer wandering the halls asking if guests had seen his wrench, but when they went back to find him, he had disappeared.
The guy I'm seeing is not the same person as the blue guy in the coveralls.
So who was the guy that was crushed? Do you see him?
Yeah, he's the one that looks like he's 28 to 32. Sorry. When I give date ranges,
I know.
based off of their appearance. So if he was 18 but worked a hard life, he could look like he was in his 20s.
So it was said that he was, a lot of the like ship people would play chicken with these hatch doors and like try to like get through before the door closed.
Oh, of course.
But
and
I
he
feel
lost.
like that's what they think he was doing, and he lost. But I
No,
also
he
think
says
he
he
doesn't.
wouldn't-
Yeah.
No, he said he would not have lost if people were there.
Oh.
Because it really was an accident, and the reason he did get trapped was because no one was down there with him. And the person that's running behind and whistling is his friend that was going to come help him and didn't. Just letting you know.
But why was he under the door then?
Because he was closing it by himself. They're not supposed to be closed by themselves.
Oh.
Someone's supposed to come with him. But they were being dumb, and they're like, boys in their 20s, and he's like, I'll go start it myself. And his friend's like, I'll meet you down there. Don't
and
get
he
stuck.
Didn't come, and he got stuck.
Yeah, he decided to not wait for his friend and try to close it, and he's like, it happens.
Oh god.
But he just wants to be clear, he's not a chicken, and he would have won. if other people were there. He's like, I had done it before. I watched other people do it, but no one else was there. He's like, it really was just a dumb accident. And the person whistling is his friend.
Got you.
Going down the hallway. And then dude with the blue coveralls and the beard is very different. He's like old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's an engineer, so obviously that's what he was different.
I don't think he's upset. I mean, he's like annoyed by it, but he's not like upset.
Yeah. That's
I feel
interesting.
Like he's talking about girls.
Oh!
He like didn't have a serious girlfriend. He's like, but I got to see some cute lassies on the boat.
Lassies.
He's like, but I didn't. I'm like, well, you died like really young, aren't you? Shouldn't you be like upset? And he's like, I didn't have any commitments yet.
Well, yeah.
Look, now you look different again. Did you like the spooky content? Let us know, because this is the first time we've ever done like
famous haunted locations. Technically, it's the second time. Go check out that video.
But if you want different haunted locations or different haunted stories, let us know in the comments below, and we'll see who can get them first. But yeah, it's fun. If you liked it, let us know. And if you didn't, don't let us know, because I'll cry.
But in our next video, we may be finally doing a tarot versus psychic medium reading, because I keep telling you guys. And if you're interested in that content, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out.
And our Patreon's live if you haven't seen the blue-footed rubies. That's these ones. There you go. So if you want, check out our Patreon. If you don't, that's okay too, because we got lots of free content on YouTube and podcasts. But if you want extra spoopy, cool content, become a sidekick, because we are your meta sidekicks. Peace.
Yeah, what I do, because I watch a lot of scary haunted things, what I do is I find a human soul in the like building or whatever I'm watching that tells me about the location instead of having dark things tell me about the location.